Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle, joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today, we got 6 games in the NBA, 9 in the NHL. So definitely not a huge card, but we do have some games to go over. But first, we'll recap yesterday. It was a really strong day for me yesterday. Had a couple losers early in college basketball. Other than that, though, and one loser in the NBA, really strong night. The NBA went 1-1-1 for me, and I think actually it went 1-2 on Capertech because I think when I put it in, I got a 9.5 on one play, and it finished on a push when I bet it at a 10. But I got Miami Heat plus 10.5. They got they lost by 5, so they covered against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Portland plus 10 was a push. That was the game. I think I got a 9.5 over on Capertech, which was unfortunate. And that's the difference between where you're able to bet them and where and putting in plays and stuff like that. Could be the difference between a winner and a push, or a loser and a push. So frustrating there, but it happens. Then finish off the night with a bad loser, Dallas plus 10.5. Thought first game without Kyrie could be a chance to step up. I didn't trust Milwaukee laying that many points. Yeah, they opened up a can of whoop ass on them, so it is what it is. In college basketball, lost with Clemson minus 15. They win by 9. Lost with Oklahoma State plus 6. They lose by 13, which was frustrating because they were up 5 at halftime and just completely fell apart in the second half. How about an outright winner, Tim? Kansas State goes into Cincy and wins 54-49. So they get the job done there. How about Kansas
State's trying to make a point to try to make the bracket.
Yeah.
Even after their very, very rough start to the year, they're starting there because I know they have their win against Kansas. They had like a big winning streak, so they're trying to make their point to try to make the bracket. I admire it.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job lately. I have a feeling if they make the tournament, that could be a bet on team in the tournament, potentially Kansas State.
I agree.
Especially if you get them at like a 9 or a 10 seed. Like that's an interesting spot, or even 11 seed, because we know, and actually 12. I would want Kansas State as a 12 seed because we know, and Kansas State would have to go up against a non-power school. In a 12-5 matchup, you take Kansas State there because usually the teams that upset as 12 seeds are either power conference schools versus group of 5, or group of 5 versus not group of 5, but mid-major versus mid-major. So that's something to keep in mind there as well. I think I'm still going to move on the one future. I want to shop around this morning probably and take it. But we continue on. How about a little NEC tournament action? The Blue Devils get the win, not Duke. Central Connecticut State University over Lemoyne, minus 13.5. They get the win by 19. How about our Rouge there, Tim? UMKC get the win over over Earle. So they get there. And an outright upset winner last night here. I got Ole Miss at 3. They said the hell with your points. They're going to win outright. So that was a nice little winner there. In the NHL, broke out the brooms. I took 2 plays. If I would have bet everything I wanted to, I would have finished 3-1, and it would have been up a little bit more because I left the Blues and the Ducks on the cutting room floor. The Blues got the job done. The Ducks did not. And don't look now. The Blues are only a point out of a wild card 2 spot. Just saying, if you guys jumped on with me, we have 11-1 on the Blues to make the playoffs. So and they're now a point out. So this is a bet on team going forward. I'm pissed I missed the opportunity to bet on them last night. But I did get Washington in overtime, minus 120 over the New York Rangers. I do think the New York Rangers are going to be a team that slips a little bit going forwards because their advanced metrics have not been very good in the games they have been winning. And then my favorite play on the card yesterday, one I had circled from a couple days ago, the Vegas Golden Knights on the minus 1 at plus 106 against Toronto. It was a terrible spot for Toronto. It was the fourth game in 6 days for them, and they traveled from Toronto to Vegas on their day off. So that was rough for them there. Just a terrible scheduling spot for them, and it looked like it. It was 3-0 at the end of the first period for Vegas. So overall, up 3.8 units yesterday. So definitely cannot complain. Any day in the black is always a good day. So very happy about that one. So a nice little winner there on that one.
I did not track plays yesterday, although we did have plays up on the site. I did do work behind the cameras and stuff. Hopefully I'm back now. Although I know I'm not going to be part of tomorrow's show because I'm going to be driving home, most likely. But I tried to come back. I know my voice was gone. And you guys probably heard it on, what show was it? Thursday show? No. What's today? Today's Thursday. Tuesday show? I sounded like shit. Or Monday show I sound like shit. One of the two. Monday show. And yeah, I ended up having the flu and everything, but I think I'm pretty much back to normal. But anyways, I did not track plays yesterday, but I do have them up on the Picks and Parleys website. The college basketball went 4-2. Did you bet? You said you bet Ole Miss?
Yeah.
That wasn't a play that there was value on. I mean, I had it up on the site too because it was ranked versus unranked.
Oh, shit. Yeah, because I didn't look at the spreadsheet afterwards. I just copied off the site because I punch in my numbers. I let you punch in your numbers, and then I usually do that. Okay. Whoops.
Ole Miss was ranked.
That's a lucky mistake there.
No, it wasn't a mistake. Ranked versus unranked. Number 4 Tennessee coming in.
Meaning I haven't been betting those all year. I haven't been betting the unranked versus ranked ones.
Ole Miss opened up at a 3.5. I think they closed at like a 2.5, and they won outright. That's a spot that I go after. The Roos were minus 5.5, so that wasn't an outright winner. Oh, sorry. Kansas State was. That was nice. 9.5. Oklahoma State didn't get there. Clemson didn't get there. Central Connecticut did. You went 2-0 on hockey on the site, Nick. Good job.
Yes.
Capitals and Golden Knights. I went 1-1 on the site with NBA because I did take the Wizards yesterday. Did they? I didn't really check the score on that one.
I feel like that was a game I should have bet.
They did win by 3, so
it
is what it is.
I'm glad I stayed off that one in there.
And then I had the Nuggets minus 5.5. Won that one by the hook. So happy to see that. And we keep on rolling.
Yeah. But head over to the chat and then we'll get into some NBA.
What's up, Nicholas Handy? Great morning. Thanks for the show. We got you, Trevor. Wizards did not win. Up a unit. There you go. Providence and Cincinnati. I know. Cincinnati lost yesterday. Tulane money line. Does Tulane play basketball today?
Yeah, they do. They're at Minji's
No,
today.
absolutely not. How dare you, Lex? Get out of here. We're loyal and bold to the loyal and bold to the purple and gold. Unbelievable. How dare you? No, I'm kidding. I think we have a little bit of value. We have it at a. Actually, yeah, there's a little bit of value on Tulane today. Anyways, parlayed Wizards and Nuggets money line. They didn't cover. No, the Wizards did not. The Nuggets did. Mavs didn't cover in the Heat. And the Heat did all my 3 plays from yesterday. I know it's basketball. I'm messing with you, dude. I'm messing with you. I'm allowed to. Nick, it's an ugly day in the NBA. Ugly card.
Let's get into it, though. You know what they say, though. The ugliest slates are generally the more profitable ones. So let's get into it. We have the Chicago Bulls taking on the Orlando Magic. 7-point favorites are Orlando, total 219. And this line opened up 7.5, got all the way down to a 6.5, back up to a 7. Now we're seeing 7.5 again. So we are seeing no line movement towards anything because it opened up at 7.5. But it had there's been a little bit of U-shaped line movement there. Line opened up 219.5, down to a 219. Let's take a look at the cash flow for this game as my computer is freezing up. Cool. Come on. Am I frozen?
Nope.
Oh, there we go. Finally. We have 48% of tickets and 53% of the cash is on the Bulls, so it makes sense that the line really hasn't moved because it's kind of 50-50 on the money. 91% of tickets, 84% of the cash is on the over in this game as well. I've kind of removed totals from my NBA capping just because if I went by the market, I would be on way too many unders. And I'd probably be looking at unders in basically every game. So, and for this spot, I mean, I've trusted the Magic a few times. I don't really like it's kind of a tricky spot, or not a tricky spot, tricky line. I think maybe 7's correct. That's kind of what the market is telling us, that 7.5 is the correct number because they are getting a 50-50 split. Good luck laying 7 points on a team that's lost four in a row, though. Granted, they've lost to Cleveland, Golden State, and then Toronto. Ouch. That ain't good. On the flip side, we have Chicago, who's still in the 10 spot in the Eastern Conference somehow. Back-to-back losses against the Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Previous to that, though, they had covered in 5 straight games. I have no interest in this one at all. I guess it's Bulls or no bet would be my lean in this one here, getting the points, but I'm good.
No. I have no interest in this one. Currently, the Bulls, and you say somehow still have the spot, they have that 10 seed by 2.5 games over Brooklyn and Philly. Yes, Brooklyn and Philly are still in playoff talks.
Philly ain't dead.
Which is crazy because both of them are 19 games under 500. NBA, what are we doing? Anyways, I am not interested in the Bulls, and you got an Orlando Magic team that has lost 4 straight, and you want me to lay 7 points on them? The answer is no. You got a Magic team that's a heavier under team. You got a Bulls team that's a heavier over team. The answer is no. I'm not interested in this game.
Yeah, and I think one thing that kind of tipped that off to me is you had a Orlando Magic team that was in a short-term revenge spot after a bad outright loss against the Raptors, and they lost again against the Raptors. Luckily, I doubled up on the Magic last game instead of just playing the Magic because I took them first half full game. If I would have just taken them full game, I would have went 0-1 on that game. I took them first half full game and went 1-1. So I only lost some juice instead of over a unit on that game. So. But yeah, if you can't get up for a short-term revenge spot against a bad team that just beat you, I don't trust you anymore.
There you go. Bulls spread. Magic team total under. I don't know if I trust that one. Chicago making the playoffs with the ugliest record ever. Play-ins. It's an official play for you, keeping that 10 seed. Bulls first quarter. Spread, I'm guessing?
Yeah, I mean, you did take a shot at the first quarter money line. That's a nice little plus price tag. Oh, boy. Ready for this one? We have the Boston Celtics. They're 14.5-point favorites against the Philadelphia 76ers. Line open up 14, and it's bounced back and forth. 14, 14.5, 14, 14.5. We've have had a half-point line movement towards the Boston Celtics. Line open up 224.5, down to a 220. Taking a look at the cash flow, 67% of the tickets, 73% of cash is on Boston. The line's moving towards them. Makes sense. Total 95% tickets, 89% cash on the over. This is a huge number for a team on a second half of a back-to-back. Granted, they stay at home. They played Portland. They kind of took care of business last night. They have now won back-to-back games. The Boston Celtics, they beat the Nuggets. They beat the Portland Trailblazers. The 76ers team is coming in off of a 14-point loss in their last game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. I promise, let's get this out of the way now. If I'm playing, I'm laying. I made the promise earlier in the week that the Philadelphia 76ers will not make my card the rest of the year in the NBA. That just won't happen. I've lost too many times backing them. So it is Boston or no bet right off the rip, and I'm not laying 14 with a team on a back-to-back, especially for the Boston Celtics, where their next game is against the Lakers at home. So they have a nice little homestand coming up. They have the Lakers. Then they have a weird game. Here's the spot. I think if you want to fade the Celtics going forward, it may not be against the Lakers, and it's going to sound weird. Bet the Jazz against them. It's going to be in Boston. You might get 20 points or so, 19.5, 20 points, because the Jazz are in the middle of two games against the Lakers and the Thunder for the Boston Celtics. So if you're somebody who likes to look ahead, look at the Jazz spread against the Celtics on the March the 10th. So in 4 days. Yeah. That's something that I'm going to write down and have circled. Jazz ATS versus Boston March 10th.
I love that.
I'll probably get on that.
I love that idea, Nick. I don't love this idea. Although you said if you're playing your land, I would be on the opposite side. If I'm playing this one, I'm grabbing the Sixers plus all them beautiful points. This game's just going to be ugly, and I do not feel the need to want to go after this one. The Sixers have not been good this year. They're 1-9 their last 10, but they're still only 2.5 games back for a playing spot. No, this team sucks. Celtics look good, but once again, they have a big game against the Lakers coming up. So are they going to play this one hard enough to cover a spread? I don't know. I feel like it's Philly or nothing in this game, but I'm going to go with nothing.
Yeah, simple nothing here.
They will have a chance. Yes, if they're in the play-ins, they'll have a chance. And that 7 through 10 is garbage. So we'll see. Philly lean. Can you trust the Bulls with no Vooch and no Giddey? I can't trust the Bulls, period. No. Can't trust the Bulls ever. Sixers. If you're looking for trust, don't bet the Bulls. Pass. Lakers money line for that game. I don't hate that option. Going Lakers money line versus the Celtics. Celtics smash. What about the under 220.5? I can see an under.
Yeah, I can make an argument for that. Market likes it, but the market feels like likes every single under. And I think the time you'll see me bet more totals will be baseball.
By the way, how about Lakers to make the playoffs at -120 early from preseason? They're currently tied for the number 2 seed in the Western Conference. So
you victory lapping already?
Huh?
Victory lapping on that one already?
Victory lapping on that one. Let's go. That should never have been a pick 'em. But anyways, I think I'm going to end up getting on this game.
Yeah, an interesting one here between the Indiana Pacers, the Atlanta Hawks. The Pacers are 3-point road favorites, total 247 in this game. A big total in this spot. Line open up at a 4, it's down to a 3. So we do a move towards Atlanta. Line open up 247, it's down to, or 247.5 down to 247. Big number for that total, which 69% of the tickets, nice, and 61% of the cash is on the over. We have 69% of the tickets, once again, nice. 72% of cash is on the Pacers. And the line's moving towards Atlanta. So we have an interesting line movement here that suggests Atlanta is a live dog in this game at the +3 number. And if you're looking at money line, 67 and 68 is on the Pacers as well. We have The Atlanta Hawks coming in off of a loss against the Milwaukee Bucks. They were anywhere between 5 to 6.5 point dogs in that game. They lose by 6. On the flip side, we have Indiana coming off of back-to-back wins. They beat the Chicago Bulls by 15. They follow that up with a 115-102 win over the Houston Rockets. These two teams now. Here's another look ahead spot, Tim. On the 8th, these two teams head to Atlanta. Oh, my bad. They will remain in Atlanta. 2 home games in a row for the Atlanta Hawks against the Indiana Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
The way I'm capping this, the market really likes Atlanta in this spot. Atlanta wins this game. Indiana follows up with a win next game. And potentially, I think if the Hawks win this game, you might get a money lineable price for the Atlanta Hawks for the Indiana Pacers in the next game when these two teams play on Saturday. Right? Today's Thursday. When they play on Saturday. So it's something to keep an eye out for. I'm going to move on Atlanta to get my card started, I think, in this game. So I'm going to shop around, try to find the best available number. I'm going to be on the Hawks in this one.
I want nothing to do with the side with these two teams.
Good.
I'll look towards the total, though. You say that this total is a little bit high. Here's the last 5 games of totals for these two teams. 242.5, so a little bit lower. 244.5, okay. 249.5, 253, and 262. 4 out of those 4 out of the 5 of those games went over the total. And the scores of those games were 132 to 127, 157 to 115, 126 to 108, which is the under, 150 to 116, and 157 to 152. These two teams score points against each other. They're 8-2 to the over their last 10 games against each other. They continuously go over the total. So I'm just going to keep riding the over between these two teams. And guess what? On Saturday, when you go and back the Pacers, I'll go ahead and take the over again. I got the over. I got 246.5 on the site. So over for me.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing, though. I say I want to look to back Indiana on Saturday. That is only if Atlanta wins tonight. Atlanta wins this game, I will be on Indiana on Saturday. I will be on the loser of this game on Saturday regardless. I think that's the way I'm approaching it.
I'll do that with you. I'll do that with you. I'll take the loser of this game and the over in the next matchup.
Sure.
Yep. Pacers are clearly the better team. I agree. I agree the Pacers are the better team. You're not going to get an argument. Both teams suck.
No argument there.
Pass. Hawks team total over a 122.5. There you go. Tim really convinced me. Over. I love the over in this game. Yes. Over. Pacers clock money line. I'll be on the loser next game, but no side today. Tyrese Halliburton may be out.
Maybe that's why the line's moving the way it is.
Let's keep on rolling.
Yeah, we have the Golden State Warriors 10.5 point road favorites, total of 224.5. Line opened up at an 11, it's down to a 10.5. So we do have a half point line movement here towards Brooklyn. We have this line opening up at a 225.5. It's now at 224. So we have a move towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow. 81% of tickets, 87% of the cash is on the Golden State Warriors. The line's moving a half point towards Brooklyn in this game here, making the Nets rather appealing in this game. Let's take a look at the total here. 92% of tickets and 89% cash from the over. These two teams, we have the Brooklyn Nets coming in on a 5-game losing streak where they've covered in one of those. They were 17-point dogs and lost by 8 against OKC. And during this 5-game losing streak, they lost in Washington. They lost to Portland, to Detroit, and a Wemby-less Spurs team. So this has been a Nets team that has played horrible as of late. I think there's a bad spot for the Warriors, though, and I'm going to bet the Brooklyn Nets in this game. The Golden State Warriors are on back-to-back wins in 3 games, and they've won 3 out of the 4 so far on this road trip. It's the last game of a 5-game road trip for them. They played Detroit in Golden State on the 8th. So they head home after this game after a trip to Orlando, Philly, Charlotte, New York, and then Brooklyn. So the East Coast road trip that's gone pretty successful so far is ending in this today. And it's the 3rd game in 4 nights for the Golden State Warriors. Now, granted, it's not a second half of a back-to-back, but it is a 3rd game in 4 nights as well. I think that's enough. It's enough of an angle for me to take a shot here in this game. I'm going to take Brooklyn with all of them beautiful points.
I'm not going to bet Brooklyn. That's just my thing. It could be a horrible spot for the Nets, no problem. I am never touching Brooklyn here. They've lost 5 straight. They've only covered in one of those games where they were a 17-point dog. This is not a good team. They have not played well. And I don't trust them to cover a spread. And the Warriors have been better since the Jimmy Butler trade. I'll give them credit. But it's still not a team I'm going to lay 10.5 points with on the road. So it is probably Nets or nothing. It's nothing. I don't feel the need to go after this one.
Fair. I got 11 at -115 over on Bovada. Nets plus 11, -115 Bovada.
There you go. Pass. Warriors team total under. Tim, you feeling better? I'm almost there. I'm in a separate room. Drinks. I just was able to eat and took all the different meds I had to. Doing all right. Voice is almost back. So I just wanted to be able to do the show. Butler over points. Golden State wire to wire. It's been a while since I've seen the Warriors fanboy.
Yeah, Marcos
messaged me yesterday. He'll be vexing. He was taking a little bit of break to get some personal stuff situated. But he says he misses us. And we miss him too. Anyways, we got 2 more NBA games to talk about.
Yeah, we have the Golden State Warriors. Nope. Houston Rockets, New Orleans Pelicans. There we go. Right game.
Speaking of Marcos, Marcos just sent me pictures of the chat.
Matt,
you are not reading my messages. We don't see your messages, dude. I don't know what I'm missing, but I blocked from the show. Apparently, he's been in the chat. I don't see any. Marcos, you know I wouldn't be skipping your messages. You know that. Because he's messaging me now. I would not be skipping his messages. I don't know why they're not popping up. But look what I just said. Yeah, he sent me the he's alive. Hey, Timmy. And then Road Warriors all day. So there you go. and my normal message. Anyways, I'm gonna go check to see what's going on with why Marcos can't post.
Yeah, but we'll talk about the Houston Rockets taking on the New Orleans Pelicans. The 4.5-point favorites, total 230 in this game. The Rockets opened up at a 4, immediately went to a 5. Now it's a 4.5. So we've had a half-point line movement since the opening line for the Rockets. Then for the total, it opened up 233, and it's gone down to 230. So we'll move towards the under here as well. We have 66% of tickets, 57% of cash is on the Rockets. The line's moving slightly towards them. 89% of tickets, 89% of cash is on the over here as well. And then looking at what these two teams have done, we have the Houston Rockets on 3 straight losses. They played Sacramento, OKC, and Indiana in those 3 losses. On the flip side, kind of a regression to the not a regression. They're 4-2 in their last 6 games now. and they're 5-3 in their last 8. New Orleans is playing slightly better as of late. Seeing them as 4.5-point dogs, I feel like that's kind of telling a little bit. And the line has not really moved too much in this spot. For me, this is dog or pass. I don't know if I have enough conviction to pull the trigger on said Pelicans. But that would be the only spot I would look in this game would be New Orleans plus the points.
It would be Pelicans or nothing. I know I see LJ in the chat saying Rockets trifecta. I cannot trust the Rockets right now. But if there's anybody you trust, because I know LJ is not biased towards his Rockets. I guarantee that. He's not biased towards any of his teams. He'll bet against them all, so I'll give him that. But this has been a team that's had a really, really rough stretch. They were number 2 in the West at one point. Now they're number 5, and not looking as great. But they're a young team. I'm not going to touch this game. I'm not going to go after it. Wish anybody the best of luck who does try to go after the Rockets. I'll be rooting for the Rockets for LJ, but not really interested in going after this one.
Yeah.
By the way, Marcos, if you're still listening, we are also live on Picks and Parleys and Winners and Winers, so try messaging on one of those and see if that works. Just figured I'd give you that option too. Yeah. Rockets best rebounding team in the league. Pelicans worst rebounding team in the league. Hey, I don't hate your angles. I just can't go after this Houston team right now. Is ECU a good parlay piece today? No. We have a slight lean towards the Pelicans. I just don't. I just don't see. I just don't see the value in going after and putting ECU as a parlay piece. We're not skipping them. They're too long for YouTube to register. No, they're not. Pelican says it all. You got 5. Appreciate it. Pelicans plus 5 or nothing. And Rockets. Rockets first half is not a bad option.
I know LJ likes to hype up the Rockets first half, so.
Yep. Final game of the day, Nick, for the NBA.
Yep, and I have moved on this one here. We have the New York Knicks taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. We have the Lakers as 3.5-point favorites with a total of 230.5. Let's take a look at the line history, and then we'll look at the cash flow. This line did open up at a 2.5 for the Lakers, and within like 6 minutes, it was a 3.5. And since then, it did get all the way up to a 4.5, but there's been buyback down to 3.5 for the Knicks now. So there's that. Line open up 230 is now 230.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this game, where we have 85% of the tickets and 82% of the cash is on the Los Angeles Lakers. So the public loves the Lakers in this spot here. And one thing that I think, and it's an interesting thing to keep in mind for this game, is they are the only 10 o'clock game. This is the only 10 o'clock game in the NBA tonight. And how much do you want to bet some of these parlays are going to have, let's just say, Warriors money line with Magic money line and the Celtics money line, and it's going to come down to the Laker money line? Like that, this has the feel of a great parlay buster at the end of the night. That's not the reason why I bet it, but I thought that's another interesting angle for that. We have the New York Knicks, who are coming in off of a loss in their last game, a 12-point loss against the Golden State Warriors, one that I believe they did lead for a decent amount of time and fell apart late, which snapped a 3-game winning streak for them. The Lakers are coming in on a 7-game winning streak. They've been playing awesome. They do hit the road after this, though, the Lakers. Now, this is the last game of a homestand, a 6-game homestand for them, where they played Dallas, Minnesota, the Clippers twice, and the Pelicans, and closing it out with the Knicks. Where do the Lakers head next? Oh, yeah, they head to TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts to take on the Celtics on Saturday. So they're traveling cross-country for that game as well, something to keep in mind. But I think this is a really good letdown spot. Not a letdown spot, but maybe a tricky spot for the Lakers. And I can see this game as one that the Knicks win outright. But I'll definitely grab more than a bucket in this game. I got 3.5 minus 110 with the New York Knicks in this game. I am going to be on New York here, plus the points.
I just grabbed the money line. I just grabbed the Knicks on the money line today. This is a Lakers team that's been playing well as of late. I will give them that. I will never. If a team's playing well, I'll let you know that they're playing well. The Lakers have looked great since getting Luka. That's it. They've moved themselves all the way up to the 2 seed in the Western Conference, and I don't think that's going to hold. I think the Nuggets hold on to the 2 seed, but I'm going to go Knicks here. Although the Knicks have not played. Oh, no, they've been playing okay as of late, but they went and the last game they lost like double digits. I think it was a good bounce back spot for them. So I'm going to go ahead and run with a little bit of Knicks. I got plus 145 on a money line for them, Nick.
Yeah, one more thing before we move on with this game. As these two teams did play at Madison Square Garden on February the 1st, a little over a month ago. So this is a revenge game, not a short-term revenge, but it was a 128 to 112 Laker win outright as 11-point dogs. So that was something to keep in mind as well. The Knicks got beat by the Lakers last time these two teams played, and they were double-digit favorites in that game.
Yep. You talked me off Golden State. Lakers and Warriors money line parlay is minus 115. I'm doing that. Dude, Lakers are the parlay killer. Lakers are too public. Give me the Knicks. Knicks revenge spot. Knicks feels like a value trap. It's not. It's saying that these two teams would be a pick 'em on a neutral court, and that's about right. At this moment, Lakers look better than the Nuggets. Never thought I would see that. I would not say that necessarily.
I think it's a new player bump more than anything. That'll come back down and regress a little bit.
I agree. Warriors seem very secure. I just don't want to pick the spread. That is a huge spread. All right, Nick, let's head to hockey.
Yeah, let's get into it. The Winnipeg Jets are taking on the Philadelphia Flyers. We have Winnipeg minus 155 favorites, total of 5.5 in this game. I've already moved on 2 favorites in this card later in the thing, and they're both on puck lines. But let's talk about these two teams because I have not moved on this game, but it does interest me a little bit. Now, this has been actually a Philly-dominated series. These two teams just played as well on March the 1st. So actually, I think I am going to end up moving on this game. And these two teams played on March the 1st. It was a 2-1 shootout win for the Philadelphia Flyers against these Winnipeg Jets. The Flyers are coming in off of a 6-3 loss in their last game, though, to the Calgary Flames. That was on March the 4th. On the flip side, we have the Winnipeg Jets. They're coming in on their 3rd straight loss. It was a 3-2 regulation loss as around 180, 190 favorites against the New York Islanders. A game that they did not look like the better team against the Islanders in that game, which is concerning a little bit, considering where the Islanders are. And for me in this game, the more and more I look at it, I want Winnipeg in this spot. You're coming in a pissed-off Winnipeg team that just lost to this Flyers team. I think everything's starting to – the puzzle pieces are starting to come together for me in this one. I think this is the game that the Winnipeg Jets get off the schneid and get a win. And I will look to back them here on this spot. I'm going to shop around, find the best available number. I'm seeing 155 and 165 for money line and puck line, which will equal a plus 104. I'm going to add another favorite to my card. Winnipeg here for me, -1 plus 104.
I will say I looked at the hockey card today. I think I'm going to attack one game, and I'm going to just attack that one.
I'm on that with you.
So this one would be Winnipeg or nothing. But I don't feel the need to go after it. As crazy as it sounds, because Winnipeg's been good the last couple of years and Philly hasn't been. Philly has won 4 straight meetings versus the Jets. dating back to January 28 of 2023. The last time Winnipeg won a game versus Philly was in Philly on January 22nd, 2023. So it's been 2 years. It would be Winnipeg or nothing. I'm going to go with nothing.
Fair. Yeah, I got plus 104 on the -1 line for Winnipeg.
There you go. Nick, I'm going to let you run the chat now that it's hockey.
Yep. All right. Let's see. I see the Lakers winning by 1 or 2. Fair. Lean Flyers, but pass. Gave up on hockey. Four Nations was up 8 units overall. I miss it. Yeah, that was a fun little tournament. What about Flyers team total under? Definitely would look that way too. Yeah. Boys, I'm in a hot 10-1 streak the last couple days. Hell yeah. Drew, I like that. The Flyers team total under. Should done that in the contest. I'm just playing one sport, yeah. Pacers -2.5 and Lakers -3.5 are my plays for today. I'm against both of those. I got 3 with the Hawks, but I got 3.5 with the Knicks. So I'm on the opposite side of both those there. 2026 can't wait. Russia will be back and they win it all. I've been saying that for a while. I said the team Russia would have won the Four Nations face-off.
Yes.
And now hopefully they'll be back in the Olympics. They should be back in the Olympics. And I will promise you, before the Olympics start, I will have a ticket that says Russia wins the gold medal in hockey. I promise you I will be on that because that team for Russia is going to be awesome. And at the very least, we are talking about how great the goaltending is for we were talking about how great the goaltending was for USA with Ottinger and Hellebuck, where Jeremy Swayman was a third goaltender for that team. How about Vasilevsky, Sorokin, and Shesterkin? And that's leaving off Bobrovsky. So that's a really, really strong goaltending there for Russia. And I think that'll carry them to a gold medal. And that's not including players like, I don't know, Nikita Kucherov being on the top line. Players like, I don't know, Alexander Ovechkin, Mikhail Sergachev, Andrei Vasilevsky, or not, Andrei Svechnikov. They got a pretty strong one there. I've only been touching basketball because NHL wasn't treating me as good this season as the 20x my account gave me last season. That's fair. Russia in a war right now. Yeah, whatever. I do not care. For hockey reasons, I do not care. I want to see a team Russia. Hopefully they find peace. Hopefully peace is found in Ukraine and Russia. Yeah. So we can get to the more important stuff. Hockey. Same victory. Yeah. That war ain't stopping no time soon. Okay, we're not talking politics, though. We're not talking politics. Josh Hart, double. I'm assuming double. Yeah. Hi, Tim. Hi, Nick. How are you guys doing? Doing good, Brad. Doing good. Panarin will be a goal machine as well. I forgot about Panarin. He might be a third liner on that team for Team Russia. He's that good. So that'll be fun as well. But we'll keep going on. A huge line here. Where we have the Florida Panthers and the Columbus Blue Jackets, -270 for the Panthers, total 6 in this game. We're starting to see -300 range now. I mean, for the number, I mean, there's probably value on Columbus. The Panthers have had a few days off, so they're rested. The Panthers are coming in, or the Blue Jackets are coming in off of a 6-2 loss against the Lightning. I waited for that for Johansson to be confirmed. I took the Lightning -1 in that game. I think that the Columbus Blue Jackets will be a strong bet against the rest of the season just because of how good they've been. And I know a lot of people want to ride the storylines and stuff like that with Goudreau in the beginning of the year, and they want to see Columbus make the playoffs. I don't see it happening personally. So I do think Columbus falls out of a playoff spot and misses it by a few points. So But here's the thing. I'm not laying minus 270 on the Florida Panthers. Watch out for the Florida Panthers, by the way, because they will have, I believe, another $9 million in salary cap because they just moved Matthew Tkachuk to the long-term IR. So to keep that in mind as well. Florida's going to be in for some players. I mean, if you're Florida, why not call up Rantanen? See, call up Carolina, see if they're doing anything with Rantanen, because I wouldn't be surprised if he's traded again at the deadline. Same with the Devils. If you're them, call up for Rantanen to replace your star player. But for me in this game, I mean, I think the Panthers win. Am I laying minus 270 in this game? Minus 300 now? No.
Yeah, I'm not either. It's a good race though in the Atlantic Division between those top three teams: Florida, Toronto, and Tampa Bay, all separated by 3 points. So that could be fun down the stretch. But is it something I really feel the need to go after? No. I will say I bet very, very little hockey this year. And when I have, it has not looked good. So I'm gonna stick with what I said at the beginning of the hockey segment. I like one play today, and one play only.
Fair. Yeah, and I would be on the Panthers if they weren't minus 300 favorites in this game. That's just too much for me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep. Nope, we're not talking about that here. Lean Panthers buck line. Yeah. Ashers get it done yesterday. Nice spring training still, but yeah, I still think the Ashers win the division by default. But I'm also not unbelievably high on Texas. They are a boom bust team. They can boom and win 100+ games. They can bust and win 70. So who knows? I hate CBJ. Yeah, I think value-wise, they've lost it all. But yeah, Red Wings money line, we'll talk about them in a minute. I believe they have a new goaltender starting today. But yeah, I've been betting against them, and you will. Yep, I will be betting against them, not at minus 300, though. Panthers puck line, yeah, I've seen the puck line around $1.20. If you want, you could throw Panthers money line and a parlay or something like that. But what about the under 6.5 or Columbus team total under? Probably, yeah, I could see it. I could see 4-1, 4-2 Panthers in this game. Panthers puck line, Lightning puck line. That's fair. This is my only play probably. Yeah, usually I'm the one starting politics. Yeah, no, and I'm trying to end it. But yeah, we'll keep on going. We have the Utah Hockey Club and the Detroit Red Wings. We have the Hockey Club minus 120, total 6 in this game. Let's take a look at the matchup here in this spot, where Detroit's another team where I'm conflicted on Detroit because they look like a playoff team, and now they definitely don't. Back-to-back losses against Columbus, and then they followed up with a loss against Carolina in their last game there. So kind of a tricky, kind of a tough go as of late for the Detroit Red Wings. On the flip side, Utah's tricky. Their last game was on March the 1st, though, so they've had a few days off. They're nice and rested heading to Detroit. They just finished up a 4-game homestand where they won 3 out of 4. They beat Vancouver, Chicago, Minnesota before losing 3-1 to the Devils. But for me in this game, I don't know what to do with this Red Wings team. It's Utah or no bet probably. I feel like I like way too many favorites on this card because I think Winnipeg is a good bet. I lean Panthers. I lean Utah. I don't know what to do with the. I don't know what to do with the Lightning game. Carolina, I think, is a good bet. Oilers, Slater, that's probably. But I mean, I think Colorado wins, but minus 390 is ridiculous. This is a no play for me here in this one.
Same. Both these two teams kind of falling apart. And once again, I don't want to seem like I'm repeating myself, but I like one game, and I'm doing I'm gonna do 4 plays from that game. So I'm gonna go hardcore on one game, and that's it. And no, it's not the Sabres.
I saw something that made me a little nervous for one of my plays now, and I'm assuming I can get a much better line on it. because Eric Comrie is starting for the Winnipeg Jets tonight.
Yeesh.
Yeah, I'm sitting with a -1 line on Winnipeg. Not happy about that right now, but it is what it is. We'll head back to the chat. I think Mr. Nickelbopper is being against both my plays is a green light to double up. I don't know how his basketball record's been going lately, though. I need to look real quick. I remember I was up for a little bit, but it's I'm trying to remember. I'm getting it up right now. I am. Wow, I'm down 6 units now in NBA. I was up a little bit, but I've had a little bit of a rough run as of late. NHL, I'm actually working my way back to positive. I'm still down 7.88 units in the NHL this year. However, at one point I was down 30. And I've noticed, I want to take a look since the Four Nations face-off. I want to take a look what my Four Nations face-off record's been, because here's a little behind the scenes. I haven't set up my spreadsheet for hockey since the Four Nations face-off. It's been all situational capping and things along those lines. So it restarted back up on the 22nd. I want to see real quick from February 22nd until now what has been my record in the NHL, because I believe it's been pretty strong. It has been 26, 19, and 2, up 9.84 units. So yeah. So I've been doing pretty well capping games situationally and things along those lines rather than that. And the NBA has been the complete opposite. I'm down 7.41 since then. Since the Four Nations face-off, for instance, since they returned back from the Four Nations face-off, which is about where it was pretty close to where the NBA came back from their All-Star break. So I've really struggled since the All-Star break for NBA. So Lee in Utah, yeah, I miss when they used to have the records up. Yeah, I have to get back to doing that. I've slacked on that, and I apologize. Wonder if Nick is negative hockey. Yes, but it's way better than it was before. Obviously down 7.88 units. It's not good, especially in hockey for me, but it's been better as of late. Under 6.5. LMAO, yeah, put your records back up. That was great. Yeah, I'll probably try to do that tomorrow. Jets Flyers over 5.5. And the spreadsheet is dead for the NHL. Wow. For right now, yeah, it is because that's good. I do remember when you were down like 30. Yeah, the spreadsheet was not beneficial this year for me. And that's something I got to keep in mind. Also, one thing I took out of the spreadsheet this year that I had last year was the goalie numbers, because I felt like it influenced the numbers way too much. And maybe I just need to put them back in. But yeah. We'll head on to the next game, though. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Buffalo Sabres. The Lightning minus 230 favorites in this game. I'm seeing getting up to 260s now in this game. Buffalo is actually not a terrible time against the Lightning, considering the Lightning have made a couple Stanley Cups in the last few years, and the Buffalo Sabres haven't made the playoffs since we were in middle school. But the Sabres have won 5 of the last 6 games against the Lightning. That's kind of interesting. Maybe Buffalo's live in this game. We have Tampa. I'm joking, though. I'm very high on Tampa, and I'm staring down futures on 2 teams that I would like to add to my future portfolio for the NHL, because I don't have any cup picks other than New Jersey, and I'm marking New Jersey a loser with Hughes out for the rest of the year. I would like Tampa Bay, and I would like Colorado. I think I would like to move on both of them to win their conference and win the cup. And I might post that today or something along those lines. I'm buying into Tampa Bay and Colorado playing in the Stanley Cup again, like they did back in 2021, 2022, something along those lines. I'm very interested in a Tampa Bay Colorado Stanley Cup again. But for this game, I have no interest in laying 250. I'm not betting against Tampa Bay right now. That's one thing I will promise you is Tampa Bay is. I'm not getting. I'm not fading Tampa Bay right now. So yeah, no action for me here in this game.
No. It's lightning or nothing. This Sabres team should tank. I believe they're. I saw somebody trying to do like a Sabres, what they need for points compared to how many points are available. I think they said in order for the Sabres to make the playoffs, he guessed that they should need about 41 more points, and they have 44 points available. So
basically, they need to be the greatest team in NHL history for the rest of their season to make the playoffs
and get help. So no, I'm kind of done with hockey fan wise this year. It's baseball season anyway, but no, it's Tampa Bay or nothing.
Fair, yeah, tricky, but yeah, I'm not laying this type of number. Maybe over on Fliff when I get my free, and I actually cashed a parlay on Fliff last night. Maybe I might throw that as one the Lightning in a parlay or two, because I just go for scores on that app because I just take the free money and try to bet with it. But yeah, that's about all I'll probably do with the Lightning today.
Fair enough.
Let's head back to the chat. I've been done with NHL fan wise for a while. Yeah, I would too if I'm a Blackhawks fan. So that checks out.
No, he's a Coyotes fan.
Oh, Coyote pick. He's a Chicago guy. I think the Coyotes pick was a joke thing, if I remember right.
I don't remember.
But we'll move on to one. I think this was the first play I had circled heading into today's card. Let's get into it. We had the Carolina Hurricanes taking on the Boston Bruins. The Hurricanes, Jesus Christ, is now up to like minus 300, minus 320, minus 325 on. Holy crap, this line has moved. I understand why. A Coyotes fan. Okay, I apologize on that one. Wow, this line's moved a lot. I can't advocate for the puck line anymore because I got it at plus 105 this morning. And now we're looking at minus 122, minus 125. I can't even put this up on the site now, Tim. But I'm going to go back to the gift that keeps on giving for me. I'm fading the Boston Bruins until further notice. And I did it. I faded them. Now, I didn't do it over the weekend because I didn't cap the card during the weekend. So I didn't fade them against Pittsburgh. I didn't fade them against Minnesota. But since the Four Nations face-off, I had Anaheim, I had Toronto, I had the Islanders, and I had the Predators. I'm 3-0-1 fading the Boston Bruins since the Four Nations face-off. I got in puck line at plus 105 this morning with the Carolina Hurricanes. I don't like laying the full 1.5, and I've done it twice today. So that should tell you something. Makes me a little bit nervous for the day, but it is what it is. I'm on Carolina on the puck line in this game. I think they take care of business against Boston in this game. I think this is a slaughter spot for them where it is 4-1, 5-1 Hurricanes, something along those lines, and it'll trigger the Boston Bruins into a rebuild tonight. I think this loss will trigger the Boston Bruins into being sellers, into a rebuild. Also, keep in mind, no McAvoy for this game, no Marchand for this game. So they are missing a lot of players as well. I think the Hurricanes beat the shit out of Boston tonight, and I'm on the puck line at plus 105. I would tread a little. I would still bet it at minus 125 range, but maybe a smaller bet now. Maybe this is a half unit bet instead of a full unit bet at minus 125 on a puck line. Or you can parlay it with teams coming forward.
Do you want to know how bad the Bruins are this year? For their division, they are closer to the Buffalo Sabres than the third spot in the Atlantic.
Ouch.
Yeah. So there you go. Who do you call it? Sucks. Anyways, the Bruins are not good. Are we laying that big of a price tag with the Carolina Hurricanes? No. Once again, it's zero interest. None. Zero. Goodbye.
Fair. Simple enough.
He lives in Chicago, so you're right.
Yeah.
Not completely wrong on the Chicago teams I root for. The Bulls and the Sox. I am sorry. Bruins team total under. That's reasonable too. All right, Nick. 4 more games left.
Yeah, and we have another big favorite in this game. We have the Calgary Flames in Dallas to take on the Stars. I think this is a bad spot potentially for the Calgary Flames. But let's get into it. We have the Flames, I believe, finishing off of a road trip in this game in Dallas. They were the last game of a 6-game road trip. They started off with a win in Washington before losing 3 straight in Tampa, in Florida, in Carolina. No, I'll cut them slack for that. Going in and playing those 3 teams, 3 games in 4 nights, good luck. Like anybody in the league. You can be a good team in this league. You can be a Winnipeg Jets in this league. If you're going and playing 3 games in 4 nights in Tampa, Florida, and Carolina, if you come away with more than 3 points, I will tip my cap. So that is something to keep in mind as well. And then they beat Philly in their last game, and now they head to Dallas before they head home and play Les Habitants, the Montreal Canadiens. On the flip side, the Dallas Stars are coming in off of 3 straight wins. They've all been at home. They do hit the road after this. They beat the Kings, they beat the Blues, they beat the Devils. They took care of business against the Kings. I think it was a favorable spot for the Stars in that game. I want to say that was either a back-to-back for the Kings or a 3rd game in 4 nights. It was a back-to-back against the Blues, and the Devils had just lost Jack Hughes. So yeah, the Stars have done well during this homestand, but the teams they've played are either in bad spots or something along those lines. I do think this is a game the Stars probably take care of business. Do I want to lay yet another puck line? No. Do I want to put the Dallas Stars maybe in a parlay on Fliff because I get free money for it? Probably. Because let's see over there. You throw the Stars in with the let's see here. Hurricanes, Panthers, Jets, Stars, Oilers, Avalanches plus 521. Yeah, that's good enough for a $2 free bet there. For that, cool. Plus 521. Got that in as well. But yeah, that's about all the interest I'll have in Dallas is maybe it's just adding their money line to a flip parlay, and that's it for me. That's it.
Yeah, I'm not touching this game as well. I feel like it would be interesting to go and grab like a bunch of big dogs today. Although the one play I like is a favorite, so not gonna necessarily want to do all that. But not the game I want to go after. The game I want to go after is in a couple games from now, so we'll talk about that in a minute. And I got a couple plays for it. I did post it up on my Twitter already, but for right now, it's just what we've got. It's just the plays that I'll look at later.
Sure.
Sorry, I'm boring, but I chose one play on a 9-game slate.
9-game card. No, I fully understand. But yeah, it would be Jets. It'd be Stars or no bet for me.
There you
go. Yeah. Bruins team total under 2.5. Yeah, I like it. I would look at maybe a small sprinkle play here. Pyotr Kochetkov to record a shutout. There you go. Canes money line, Panthers money line, Flyers money line, Avs money line, fun parlay. You had me at Canes. You kept me with the Panthers. You lost me at Flyers. Sorry. LMAO, thanks. Yeah. Only team I root for that is watchable is the Packers. How does that work? You're in Chicago. But I guess I can ask the same thing about the Coyotes too. So, what about under 5.5? I can see it. Watch all the dogs win. Yeah. I mean, it's the NHL any given day, right? Nashville Predators minus 130 against the Seattle Kraken. This game's tough. Total 5.5 in this game. I mean, it feels like this is yet another spot where it feels like Seattle's a trap. All right, you're getting plus money to fade the Nashville Predators. who have lost 2 of their last 3, 4 of their last 6. Like, this is On the flip side, though, Seattle, they're coming in off of a loss against Minnesota in their last game. I don't know what to do with the Seattle team. They're confusing for me. I was higher on them heading into the year. I was wrong about the Kraken. I was wrong a lot of teams preseason, which is why my record was so bad to begin with. But yeah, for me, no action in this one. The line in this game says the Preds take care of business, but how many times have we said that this season that the line says that the Preds should win that game?
Way too often. I can't go after them again. I refuse. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm staying off this game. I'm excited. We get to talk about my game next.
Yeah. I'll head back to the chat, and then we'll talk Canadiens Oilers. Can't trust a Jets team with no heli. Yeah. It's just, I wish I would have known that before I placed the bet, honestly. And that's just the risk you take sometimes. Sometimes it is gambling, and yeah, it doesn't. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers grew on me as a kid. That's fair. So Yotes, Bulls, Sox, and Packers. I'm not a bandwagon. It just happens like that. Yeah. Never touch a Pred smash. Fair. All right, let's talk Le Habitants and the Edmonton Oilers minus 235, total 6.5. Let's take a look at this matchup. First thoughts is like, wow, Montreal has been playing really well as of late, and they're massive dogs in this game. You got to back the Canadian Abs, right? Wrong. Let's talk about it. Last time these two teams played was back in 2024, so I do not care about that. Actually, it was November 18th, 2024. So these two teams have played so far this season. It was in Montreal. It was a shutout victory for the Canadiens in that game, a 3-0 win. We have a struggling Oilers team who has lost 5 of their last 6 games out of the Four Nations break. The only win they got was a 3-1 win against the Carolina Hurricanes. And looking at this matchup, they're coming in off of a game where they lost 6-2 to the Anaheim Ducks, even though they outshot them. It was just a game where defensively the breakdowns were bad, and they look exhausted in that game. It was the first game back after a 5-game road trip for them. And I think this is a spot where they get their get back here. And yes, I understand the Canadians have been really good as of late. They have won 5 in a row. But now they hit the road because the only games they played on the road were against an Ottawa team that was banged up and injured and Buffalo. Those were the 2 road games they played. They went to overtime against San Jose as a minus 200 favorite. They went to overtime against Buffalo where they blew a 3-0 lead. And the one truly impressive win here against a team that wasn't a terrible team like San Jose or Buffalo or a beat-up team like Ottawa, I will give them credit. I was on them against Carolina. That was awesome. And I was on them against Ottawa. I have not been on them the last 3 games. But I can also see this game over the total a little bit as well because it wouldn't surprise me to see Carolina or see Montreal get theirs goal-wise. But I think this is one where we come back tomorrow and the Edmonton Oilers opened up offensively and they win this game something along the lines of 7-3. Like I can see McDavid puts up a big game, Draisaitl picks up a big game, and it's on their way to a 7-2, 7-3 type of win. I think I legitimately think that maybe a team total or 4 is worth a look for Edmonton as well. I think this is a tricky spot for Montreal on a nice little win streak, but now you have to hit the West Coast, which I think is no easy task to do. So for me, I am on the Oilers in this game. I got the puck line this morning at plus 107 over on Bovada. So I'm on the Oilers puck line in this game.
Here we go. I'm on 4 plays in this game, and you kind of tagged on all of them. What was the last thing we just saw from the Edmonton Oilers? They got their backs broken by freaking Anaheim out of all teams. That was a 6-2 game. They were down 4-1. Was it 4-0 at one point in that game? I feel like it was. That was just a really, really bad game for them.
They scored the first goal. They scored the first goal.
Edmonton. So just an ugly game from them. I took Edmonton. I took their puck line, and I took their -2.5. And then when it came to it, I took Draisaitl, and I took McDavid, both over 1.5 points. Those are at even money and +120. 4 plays, all on one team. Edmonton Oilers galore today. Edmonton Oilers smash spot. My biggest play of the day. My only play for hockey.
I like it. Let's get back to the chat, and then we'll head to the last game, which that looks like so much fun. So are you guys all New York fans, and which teams? I am. I'm Mets, Islanders, Giants, and I do not give a fuck about basketball, the NBA. The only non-New York team I'm a fan of, like full-time, is East Carolina because I go there. So yeah, for me, it's Islanders, Mets, and Giants with ECU for college. But I'm also a Syracuse guy for college too.
Jets, Mets, Sabres, and the Denver Nuggets because I grew up watching Carmelo Anthony.
For Syracuse, and then
yeah. Well, no, I never saw him for Syracuse. I knew he played for Syracuse.
Fair. I know the Mets, of course. Yeah, the Mets are our do or die professional team. That's the team that carries the most weight for me. Other than now ECU athletics as well, just because I'm part of ECU. I am a student there, so I feel more part of ECU stuff than I do Mets, but still Mets are my do or die professional team. What about the Jets, right? Yeah, Tim's Jets, I'm Giants.
Mm-hmm.
What about the under 6.5? I would be, if you like the under, I would look more towards Montreal team total under, because I think there will be an emphasis on Edmonton playing better defensively. I do. All right, final game of the card. The Colorado Avalanche are damn near 4-1 favorites in this game, total of 6.5. I don't think this is definitely not the biggest favorite of the season. I'm looking at 2.5 here for San Jose at -130. If you're looking at the game, line wise, I can only look at San Jose. I did throw Colorado money line in a couple of my flip parlays, but other than that, that's about it. I'm going to move on futures today, I think. And I think I'm going to move on Tampa, and I'm going to move on Colorado. I'm going to move on those two, add to my portfolio for futures. So I'm going to take those two. I've been staring at them for a little while. I'm going to shop around after the show, and I'm going to grab them both. I will be invested in the Colorado Avalanche going forward, more in the playoffs than anything. But yeah, no play here for me, sidewise or total wise. Just just going to add futures on the Avalanche.
Okay. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to stick with what I got, and I'll be happy with it. No need for me to go crazy with anything else. So just going to stick with my Edmonton Oilers plays. Way too wide of a spread. Not going to go after it. Yeah, no,
-390. I have no interest in them as an individual game bet for tonight.
There you go.
That is everything, Tim.
Yep, that will kind of conclude everything. We'll have plays up on the site. I will get back to posting all of the plays back up on things. I know I've been slacking off the last couple of days with me going through what I was going through, whatever. It'll be back. I promise. They'll be posted up after the game, after the show. If you guys are interested in all that, become a member of the YouTube channel. Till next time, let's make some money. Good luck, guys.